Welcome. It's Sunday night, holiday night, and it's the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. Welcome to Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Happy Halloween. I'm Magic Lasso, aka Ryan, joined by fellow fanboy Dave. This is Comic Fu 2814. How are you tonight?
Sorry, I had the video playing on another tab, and I was hearing it like several seconds delayed in my head.
Gotcha.
Hi, I'm Comic Fu.
And we want to thank you and welcome everyone to the Halloween edition of Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. If you're watching on the rewind, we especially thank you for spending some time with us too. We'll acknowledge our trick-or-treaters in the chat, and I should say, one of us is a trick and one of us is a treat. It's up to you to decide which is which tonight. But right now, we're going to take attendance for Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Flashpoint Comics, I have excused A-OK. I mean, excused absence.
Excuse me. He owes you an A-OK now.
Yeah,
too,
he owes me an A-OK for not being here. It's an excused absence tonight. Tim the Comic Collector, I have an unexcused absence tonight for the show. And Tony Fett, what did you have down for him? Unexcused?
Unexcused, no. Yeah.
Unexcused absence for Tony Fett tonight. I'm letting you say that because he's sending me something really good. And then that way, you know, it doesn't fall on me. I just go, peer pressure.
Right. Okay.
So
it's my fault, Tony.
Let's say hello to those who are trick-or-treating on the channel tonight. We say hello to Glitter Lord James, aka Warlord. Hello and happy Halloween. Thanks for stopping by today. We also want to say hi to Ruben Guzman, who now goes by White Tiger Comics, Cartridges, and Collectibles.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, and starting in January, he's putting out content, and he has a very aggressive schedule lined up for 2022. I told him, I said, you are going to be married to YouTube with that type of schedule that you have lined up for the new year. But go over and sub up his channel and hit the bell so when content starts coming, and it's going to start coming almost daily in January, you will be notified of that. And although Tony isn't here, Christy is here, so it's great to have you with us. Christy, we kind of knew that we were your favorites out of all of the fanboys anyway.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And as James likes to add in, happy Christmas, everybody. So
thanks, James.
Yeah, so James, Christy, and Ruben can all come over and pick out a little treat from the trick-or-treat bowl downstairs and enjoy tonight. So how have you been? How was your week? You weren't with us last week.
Yeah, no, my week's been pretty good. Busy. Had another auction on my channel last night, so I've been you can probably see the boxes over my shoulder there. I've been packaging them all up this weekend, so it's been a busy couple days, but I've been looking forward to doing this. So
that's awesome. Are you saving up for something? I know you've been doing some auctions. Are you saving up for like a really big book or something?
Possibly. Right now, I'm just kind of socking it away, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean,
it's always better to have the money because you can always find a place to spend it at.
Yes, yeah. So I don't have any specific book in mind right now, but it's more of just with the whole shipping problem with comics and supplies. I have been waiting on my BCW order literally since March now.
Wow.
And there is no word on when I'll get it. So it kind of forced me into the position of like taking a look at my collection back here and saying, okay, is there anything I could do without? And in going through that exercise, it kind of like went even further. And now I'm really focused on what books do I really, really love? Because I've run out of room.
Sure. Yeah. There's only so much room, for so many books.
Yeah.
Adrian Panda Awesome 316. Awesome to see you here, my friend. Trick or treat. Thanks for stopping by. When everyone, I hear so many people talking about the comic bags and board shortages and supplies shortages. The weird thing is for me in my area, I went through that about a year ago, but I'm not going through it right now. So I don't know why we had it a year ago and are not having it now. But a year ago, I didn't hear so many people talking about it. So, yeah.
Well, so like my LCS, we didn't have the issue early on. And then suddenly we did. And I said, what changed? And he said,
Mhm.
oh, well, I buy 2 years worth of supplies.
Oh, okay.
I've been using all of my old ones. And yeah, we finally ran
Sense.
out.
Yeah.
So
Well, that makes sense. So, Brandon Looney Tunes fan 2000, thanks for stopping by. My favorite Looney Tunes character is anyone dressed up as Wonder Woman.
would she be considered Looney Tunes?
She could because she's Warner Brother property.
Okay.
So, do you
All
have a
right.
favorite Looney Tunes character?
It's got to be Bugs.
Bugs, yeah. That silly wabbit. So before we get into the show started tonight, I wanted to ask you something. Did you get a chance to get that book that just came out this week? Is it, and if I'm wrong on the title, please correct me. Is it DC versus zombies or DC versus vampires or something like that? Vampires.
I've
There's
heard
a Green
people
Lantern
talking
cover
about
that's
it.
supposed to be glow in the dark. Did you get that?
I haven't been to my LCS yet to pick up those books. Where was I? I need to go check now. Yeah, no, I don't think I've gotten this week's books. Yeah.
Okay. It looks like it, I haven't seen it in person yet, but the cover looks good.
Pretty good.
But when it's immersed in darkness, then it turns into the vampire, and it's Hal Jordan, cool. Green Lantern, and it's a pretty like a profile right. From shoulders on up shot. And it looked
I'll
really
definitely
cool.
Pick that up if I can find it. For sure.
Yeah. So I was just curious if it really did look that nice once you got it in the darkness, or if that was just
I'll
some
let you know.
We don't know.
It's not a title I was going to pick up, but I will pick up the Hal cover for sure.
Cool. All right. So tonight on Fanboys Live in the Retro Review, it's just the two of us. We are going to go through our DC Comics news. We are going to get into our retro review tonight, which is part 3 and 4 of Wonder Woman Gods of Gotham. So this is Wonder Woman Volume 2, issue 166 and 167. Plus, there's Wonder Woman trivia. There was Wonder Woman trivia last week, and there's new Wonder Woman trivia just for you, Fu, tonight. So.
Oh, okay, great. Can't wait.
And honestly, I think you got the harder questions.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
But there's some multiple choices, so maybe that will help.
Okay.
So that's all coming up in Fanboys Live. I didn't see a whole heck of a lot of big DC news going on. How about yourself?
No, actually, nothing really. I'm looking through the news feed now.
I did see that an Arrowverse character is going to be coming back that we haven't seen for several years, and she will be a reoccurring character in the new season of Superman and Lois, and that will be Lucy Lane. So Lois's sister, and she is going to be played by the same actress who portrayed her in the Arrowverse, who we haven't seen since season 1 of Supergirl 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That was Supergirl season 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, and of course now Supergirl I think has 3 episodes left before the entire series is done. So we're getting close to wrapping that up. So that was some news.
Have you stuck with it?
I have stuck with it, but if I didn't know that this was going to be I would have cut it, because I just haven't. I have enjoyed Supergirl in the past. I really didn't enjoy any of last season, and I haven't enjoyed anything in this season.
Yeah.
But I stuck with it because,
I think that's the same story for everyone I talked to about that.
Yeah.
I mean, season 1, it was okay. I mean, it was okay. I liked the Crisis on Earth X, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
Crossover, that was good.
Yep.
But that was also about the time where after that I couldn't find much on it to watch.
Yeah. Sometimes, unfortunately, they focus on some of the supporting cast more than they focus on Supergirl. And I'm like, the show is called Supergirl. She should be the main focus, you know?
Yeah.
But what can you do? But it's wrapping up, 3 episodes left. What has restarted now is Batwoman, and they're really imploring a lot of the Batman mythos. Although they're kind of trying to do their own little take and their own little spin on things. And right at the, not to spoil anything, and I don't think this is a big spoiler because we've talked about it on Fanboys in the past, but you didn't see her, but the beginning of Poison Ivy was on this past week. So we saw some vines coming out grabbing someone. and you know that's going to be Poison Ivy. So
now, was it CGI? The vines?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Okay. Was it good?
It was all right.
Okay.
So, Stargirl is wrapping up season number 2 with their finale coming up this upcoming week. Did you see any of that?
I think I'm about 3 episodes behind.
Okay.
So
have you seen the one
that's starting to lose me? A lot of these shows have been.
I enjoy seeing the Justice Society.
Okay.
When they bring them on, that's an enjoyment for me. But this was just kind of okay. Did you wrap up Titans?
Yes.
Okay. Some people liked the season and some people didn't. What did you think?
It was hit or miss for me, I guess.
There were some good episodes, and then there were some okay episodes.
Yeah. I think I don't think it ended the best for me, but
no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And definitely the portrayal, Blackfire was not what I thought she was going to be at all.
No.
This season. No. So it was
the first part, especially with, and I don't want to give too many spoilers here, but like with Hawk. I mean, that was amazing.
That third episode was just there.
Yeah, and they should have kept it at that kind of intensity, I think. Had they done that, man, that show would be something.
Or more episodes with them working as a team. It just felt like everybody was broke apart.
Yeah.
In the season. So
yeah. And that you're right. The whole thing with Blackfire and Starfire, it really kind of, I think, detracted from the rest of what was going on.
Yep.
Whereas
all the way over to Japan.
Hello
to Kate Titus. So
hey, Kate Titus.
I'm sure it's not. It's already a different month over there than it is here. So good to have you here. But I imagine you're not watching Doom Patrol.
No, I enjoyed the beginning of season 1, and then it just got so out there crazy. But in a way that like I could still respect it, and I knew what they were doing. It was just like, I think it's not for me.
I get it. There are times even this season that I've watched Doom Patrol, and I just think to myself, what am I watching?
Right?
What is this?
Yeah.
And it takes it out there. They and I'm not going to spoil it. They had a big villain reveal in this past week's episode from a comic book character.
Oh, okay.
So there was a character that's been introduced this season. Then you got the big reveal who the character really is. So and that was kind of cool. And this past week's episode was a little bit better because they had, in 2 cases, the actors that are essentially voiceover actors, like Brendan Fraser's a voiceover actor. He's not actually inside the robot suit. And same deal with with Negative Man.
Right.
That's not him inside the costume. In this week's episode, they had the actual actors interacting with the people who were inside the costumes. So that was kind of neat.
Nice.
So,
now, are they still going from the it's Morrison that did the run, right?
Yeah, Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Are they still pulling from that run?
Yeah, heavily. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty heavily. So I would like to see a little bit more of some of the weirder side characters that they introduced, like Flexman Tallow. I'd like to see him back at least for an episode, or Danny the Street. One of the most unique characters I've ever seen. I mean, he's not even a person, he's a street. So I would like to see the return of those since they've already introduced them. But
now, have you read
I'm going to stick with it.
Have you read the comics?
I've read some of them. I haven't read all of them.
Okay. Are they kind of just as strange, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have the full run. I thought it was just fun because I actually found a complete set of it, and I was like, yeah, I'll pick that up. But I have not read it yet.
Okay. Yeah. I've got one of the first appearances from that run coming sometime this week. So.
Yeah, Grant Morrison can be hit or miss. Like sometimes he just like knocks it out of the park, and other times,
yeah. The Silver Age Doom Patrol is very interesting. Of course, Silver Age DC anything can be very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
But heavy parallels to X-Men.
Well, yeah.
I mean, even their leaders both are paralyzed, and
yeah.
I don't.
And I think Doom Patrol came out first.
Yeah, I think it did too.
But only by a few months, I think, right?
Yeah, that's one of those strange ones like Man-Thing and Swamp Thing that they're very close in release time.
And I don't think either of them are first, right? I think they both pulled from another like prototype character.
Yeah, I think so as well. So let's say hello to Wheelchair Superhero 87. Trick or treat. Thanks for being at the Magic Lasso channel on Halloween. We mentioned Brandon Fraser. I think we mentioned this last week. He's been cast in an unnamed villain role for the Batgirl movie.
Batgirl movie?
Batgirl movie, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
okay. That'd be interesting.
That's about the extent of DC news that I saw. And unless you have something or.
I don't. Not this week.
All right.
Not too much has been going on.
Yeah, not a lot either. So are we already ready to segue into the retro review?
Yeah, I think so. I got myself caught up. I watched the last week's episode, and
okay.
Sounds like Tim got a little lost throughout the book, but your review kind of helped pull him through.
Yep.
So that's good.
Do you need me to pull up an assist, or do you have one?
I have one actually.
Awesome. So Gods of Gotham was the very first storyline that Phil Jimenez did when he took over creative controls on Wonder Woman. And as we mentioned last week, it was on purpose putting Batman and the Batman family in the story because he knew it would sell well. And I mean, that's a brilliant move, just so you have great sales from the very onset of you taking over the reins. So brilliant. And we've done the first half of this story. I see it coming. And now we're doing 3 and 4. So do you want to kick us off with a recap of 166?
Absolutely. And there you go. Just like you said, guest starring Batman. They had to throw that in there and get him right on the cover. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay. But, one thing first, those boots right there, they look like sloppy socks to me. What do you think of that?
It looks like they're about to fall off, or
they don't. That's my well, it's not my only complaint, but that's my biggest complaint with Adam Hughes' Wonder Woman is just the boots don't look, something looks wrong with them.
Now, anyway, he just does the cover. Who's doing the art throughout the book?
Phil Jimenez is writing and doing the art.
He is. Okay.
Yeah, so it looks very George Perez-ish. It looks like Perez light.
It does. The artwork's phenomenal throughout the book.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're starting off here, and as you can see, Batman can now fly. Nightwing is a jewel thief, and no, I'm kidding. We've got Nightwing's got this bag, and I think there's a head in it, right?
Yeah.
And you've got they're fighting for basically the survival of Gotham, and Wonder Woman has had enough here, and we get this great scene here of all of the villains. Now they've been possessed now by the various gods. And of course, the scariest amongst them right now would be Joker and who was it? Phobos?
Phobos. Yeah.
Okay. Has possessed the Joker, and I believe that's like the god of fear or the god of terror.
Yeah.
And they've got Harley Quinn strung up here. She's going to be their sacrifice, and you've got who is this? Donna Troy, is that?
Yep, that's Troya. Yeah.
Troya, yeah. And Wonder Woman and Nightwing here to try to stop them, and Batman as well. Let's see. So yes, so Wonder Woman is having this discussion back and forth with the gods. And basically we're learning that like the villains inside them, like they've completely been silenced now. And these gods are just talking for them. And the Joker pulls this, what is it called? The Amulet of Harmonia, right out of Troy's hands, and the bag with the head right out of Nightwing's hands. So here they showed up trying to do something with this, and he immediately just steals it from them. As you can see, Harley is in quite a bit of trouble here. She's still saying, okay, Mr. J, joke's over, right? And she's
Yeah.
not fully cluing in on the fact that the Joker's not there anymore, at least for now. And let's see. Yeah, so then Poison Ivy is controlled by, is it Artemis, I think?
Poison Ivy is controlled by
not Artemis. It's hard to keep all of the different gods' names.
Give me a second, I know this.
Throughout all of this.
Eris.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. And she's got this golden apple, which is she's controlling all this power through. And Nightwing is trying to sneak up to free Harley is what's happening. He thinks he's not being noticed. And Wonder Woman's like, yeah, no, look out, because the Chimera comes in here and blast Nightwing. I guess he can breathe fire of some kind. He's got like a lizard's tail and bull horns on this kind of like, but he's hoofed and with a lion's head. It's kind of a weird mashup of a beast. Let's see, where do we go from here? Oh, the Joker just opens up the bag. Is that like Medusa's head in there, I think?
It's like a Medusa head. It's not called Medusa.
Okay. But the Joker just like opens it up, looks right at it. He's like, yeah, no. And he just tosses it. So it was kind of strange how there was like no effect on him. Is it because he
Steno.
just like turned away?
Steno. Steno.
Steno. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because he turned his head away quick enough, or like?
I think that you have to make direct eye contact.
Okay. All right. So that plan is foiled. And now the Joker's got these, what is it? These amulets, right?
Yeah.
And we've got the Scarecrow here. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what's going on at this part. Oh, this is where the Joker actually starts coming to. Like, he's starting to fight back and disrupt the god's power. And he wants his body back. And his brother, the god's brother, who is in the Scarecrow here, is trying to tell him like, hey, hold on, what are you doing, brother? Like, we've got this, like, it's just the Joker. But it's actually the Joker's insanity that's really kind of allowing the Joker to take back control. Even the gods can't handle that level of insanity. And so Batman basically comes up with this plan. He's like, let's just get them to turn on each other. He's like, I'll go ahead and encourage, I think Poison Ivy, I think is who he is with, for her to fight back, and Wonder Woman will take the Joker. Meanwhile, Troy and Nightwing are battling the Chimera here. And let's see, it's basically just a battle like in the Joker's head at this point. The Scarecrow is trying to convince him to the god to hold on, and Scarecrow's fighting back. Let's see, that's when these two jump into action, and then we get this weird scene on these steps. And I wasn't sure, maybe you can help me, Lasso, who this character is, the priest character.
That's Maxie Zeus.
Maxie Zeus. Okay.
Yeah, from the Batman universe. So, and these are these followers that he's been able to wrangle in with these apples of discord.
Yes. So, and all these followers are going into this church where he's giving this kind of like sermon, basically. And you've got Huntress and Artemis kind of looking on like, wow, can you believe this? And they're starting to notice that the actual the sculptures on the outside of the church are changing form, and it's happening all throughout the city. Like the gargoyles and whatnot are all beginning to change throughout Gotham. And at that point, they're confronted by Maxie Zeus with all of his followers in these robes in the cemetery here outside of the church. And it's just then that Wonder Girl and Robin come flying in through the trees.
Yep.
And it's kind of funny. Like, Wonder Girl shows up. She's got a bit of an attitude. And they go in, they just start, fighting all of these followers and whatnot. And where's the part? Oh, I'm trying to find the part. She just like lets loose these insults for no reason. Yeah, like she's saying, "Hey, they were about to kick your butt." And where was this? Do you know what I'm talking about here?
I do. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she says she sounds like her 4th grade teacher, you old bee.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, it was so uncalled for. And at that point, Robin's like, hey, ladies, like, remember what we're here to do. We're here to help Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah. He's not there to serve Meow Mix.
Right, exactly. So he gets them back on track. And now you've got the 4 of them stopping Maxie Zeus and his followers. They've also, though, the reason they were able to find them is through Oracle. So Oracle's actually working with them too and telling them, hey, watch out for these apples on the ground, these apples of discord. Like, you don't want to mess with them. And so what does Wonder Girl do? She picks one up. She's like, what, you mean these? Like, just after being told that, like, they have a venom in it that can infect your mind.
Typical teenager.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right, back to the battle though. We've got Troya takes out the Chimera, just smashes into it. He's out. You've got Batman again starting to break through to Poison Ivy, and Wonder Woman is using her lasso on the Scarecrow to try to, convince the god to come out. And no sooner do they begin to make some progress here, breaking through, and where is it? We've got Nightwing jumps up. He's about to save Harley. Everything is beginning to look good. And then who is this guy that's like a plant and a Roman warrior? I wasn't sure who he was, but he suddenly shows up to stop Nightwing from freeing Harley. And at that same moment, the Chimera bounces back into action and completely disrupts everything that Wonder Woman and Batman had been trying to do to free the souls, basically, of the Joker and Scarecrow. And so the gods are able to take back control. At the same time, this Maxie Zeus, gets out of the pile of bodies here that Robin and Wonder Girl had left, and he's presented with one of these apples. Let's see, where are we?
So we're back inside the church now, and because everything's kind of getting changed.
Everything's changing, and then Maxie Zeus then shows up where Wonder Woman and Batman have been fighting them, and he actually presents this apple of discord at just the wrong time, and it causes everything they've been doing to be undone. He's able to actually shoot this energy bolt at Wonder Woman. The gods take back control. Maxie Zeus even is able to knock out Nightwing, which I found kind of funny. I don't know if it's because of the power of the apple or something, but I wouldn't have expected Nightwing to get caught off guard like that.
I think it has to be godly power,
right? I mean, like, it's because, like, you guys were even talking about on, like, the last episode of, like, where to do Nightwing proper, he would have to, like, do 3 backflips in, and for him to just get caught off guard by this, like, this guy, I wasn't buying it. But all right, where are we? So at this point then, using the apple and these amulets, they are able to open up a portal, a doorway between Olympus and Earth, and that's what we are seeing here. It's what they were trying to prevent.
Because that's where Ares is going to come through this. Ares is the god of war, and these are his children.
Okay. And so they're still battling the Chimera. It's just kind of going crazy. You've got the teenagers have just shown up, and there's really not much they can do at this point. They can see the portal is opening up. Again, the whole world is changing and morphing. Let's see. Oh, and then this was interesting. The god that was inhabiting the Scarecrow was looking. He found Batman's basically, I don't know if you'd say his weakness, but his weapon, I guess, and that was fear. And so realizing that, and we've seen this before, we've seen Batman as like a yellow lantern, right? He does, like, that's kind of his powers. He instills fear. And so seeing that, this god decides, hey, he's got more of this than the Scarecrow. So he leaves the Scarecrow and hits Batman here. And now I think it's Phobos is his name. Yeah. You can see he completely takes over Batman as everybody looks on. And they're like, oh no, that's like the last thing they wanted. And so, and that's where
they call him the ultimate god of fear.
The ultimate god of fear. Exactly.
Yeah.
So pretty good issue. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad I watched the last Fanboys. I probably wouldn't have been able to pick up exactly what was going on, but even not being like a hardcore Wonder Woman reader, it was fun. And the artwork in this was phenomenal. Really great.
We'll talk more about the overall story after we wrap up this next segment. First, I want to acknowledge some folks that stopped in during your review who came trick-or-treating on my channel. BTC Moon Guy did trick-or-treat to you. Hello to our friend Tricky Trapster. That's awesome. Michael Gallant is here. Thank you for stopping by. Too busy consuming chocolate to join the show tonight, but Tony Fett did stop by the chat just to log in. As did Tylox the Mighty. Hello to you. We got some trolling from Michael Ackery going on, and maybe no candy for him.
Yeah, no.
And we have Promiscuous Time Traveler. That's right, Portal. You run, and you run fast. And everyone's favorite vacuum.
He's a time traveler. Is he running towards it or away from it?
I know. And everyone's favorite vacuum cleaner, aggressively relaxing. So, he's preparing you for the glitter. That's a different conversation. So,
I've got a stunt double.
That's right. Okay. You got the next issue ready that I can dive into? He is running towards because he needs to get home.
Right.
Don't blame you. It's getting dark. It's going to get dark earlier next week at this time. All right.
Oh, that's
so
right.
This is our wrap up. First of all, I love the cover where you see Wonder Woman. We know that this is, this demonized / God eyes / Batman, ultimate god of fear. That's his hands. And no wonder the rest of the supporting characters are looking, like, oh my God, how are we going to deal with this?
Look at the Huntress.
I know. I love, and Donna Troy has got the going on, and it's great. So as we start out the issue, we have fear sweeping through Gotham City. First, it strikes the criminals. Then it's striking people who have been the victims of criminals. And then it's hitting everybody else. And this cathedral is just transforming into a sinister temple. It's decorated with skulls and giant torches. Maxie Zeus's followers are entering this cathedral of panic. Inside, we see that Dark Angel has confronted Donna. So what's happening here is we're seeing the fears of all of our supporting character heroes. These are their fears, and Donna Troy's fear would be Dark Angel. We'll talk a little bit about the Dark Angel backstory after we wrap this up. Huntress is quivering in fear of failing before Batman's eyes. That's her fear. Cassie flies to Diana's rescue, only to have the apples of discord explode around her, bringing her under Era's power. And Robin's afraid to jump, although Nightwing tells him that the fear isn't real. And then that Phobos Batman hybrid gloats as Ares appears over them. So Phobos presents the followers to Ares. Ares is impressed with it. Ares sees that Ares believes that Phobos has orchestrated all of this, and that Ares will probably send her back to Tartarus unless she's either absorbed the power of the apple for herself or uses it as a weapon. So she makes a decision. Phobos takes the apple and its great energies to present to Ares. And Joker kind of says out loud, although Wonder Woman's close enough to overhear this, that Ares has poisoned the apple with Poison Ivy's powers. So Diana throws herself at the apple, knocking it out of her and Ares, knocking actually her and Ares into limbo at this point. Diana tells Ares what's going on. She reminds him of his promise to save mankind from himself and Ares' power. That's right, Crypto. Meanwhile, we have Wonder Girl, Cassie. You know, she's mad right now. She slugs Robin. Nightwing uses that Stempno, the Medusa head, to turn Dark Angel into stone. This releases Donna from her fear. Artemis is able to convince Huntress to have faith in her god, and Donna hauls Cassie off of Robin, and Robin kind of talks Cassie down. So the heroes that were overcome with their fears have now been taken out of that moment. Ares reappears and declares that he rejects all of his children. He says they're nothing more than squabbling vermin who would poison their father with treachery and venom. He tells the followers to reject them as well and releases the energy of the apples. This stuns Ares and gives it back to the people that it was stolen from. And you were talking about before with Cassie referring to Huntress as a bee. Well, Ares calls his daughter a cow at one point. So,
Nice.
All right. So we have a big monologue, about 3 pages of big monologue here with Diana talking to the Phobos. She's really talking to the Batman portion of him, and she's trying to reach through to Bruce and telling him how much she respects him, that he's a man who believes in compassion and respect and honesty and camaraderie. And that is able to actually snap Batman out of this. And I really love how this page is done with Wonder Woman and Batman's side by side in the center while the events are playing out on both sides of them. So to me, it's like that inner communication they're having. Yeah, that's very reminiscent of Perez. You're right on that. So Ares pulls Eris out of Poison Ivy's body and pulls Demos out of the Joker's, even after he tells Demos that he has been a sore disappointment. And then consigns Eris once again to the bottom of the Styx down in Tartarus. He tells Phobos that Demos was his favorite son, and Phobos was the greatest embarrassment of my immortal life, he says. So he sends Phobos to be shackled to Ixion's wheel in Hades. So then Ares tries to lure the followers to start worshiping him now. Diana then reminds him that he promised he would never again take an active role in man's demise. So Ares honors his word and departs, but says, you have given me a glimpse of the future. Soon, mankind will demand from you everything you have, everything you are, for soon you will face your greatest challenge. And later on, Diana will be kind of like, what was that about? Those words will stick with her, and she'll play over in her mind what's about to happen to me that he's aware of that I'm not. So as he departs, the church essentially starts collapsing, and the heroes are kept basically saving everyone inside. Outside, Wonder Woman saves Medea Zeus. This is Maxie Zeus's daughter, who we saw in the previous issue as the one who handed Maxie the apple. And she's absolutely terrified of Batman. We see a sprout from the apple of discord coming through the rubble, unnoticed by anyone else. We see Dick giving Donna a back rub because that was a throwback to me to that new Teen Titans that we did the retro review on with George Perez, where Cyborg was massaging her back. So that's what that reminded me of. After that, Dick tells Donna that there's a chance, because Diana's told him, that the purple ray in Themyscira could cure Carl. He's the one that got turned to stone when he saw the Medusa-like head back in the Donna Troy's photo studio. And the criminals are taken into custody, except for Harley Quinn, who has escaped, much to the demise of Tony Fett. On a rooftop, we have Diana and Batman conversing. They tell each other how they admire each other's ideals and point out that they're uncomfortable in each other's environments. And Batman says, when you died all those months ago, I found myself worried that the one person who could lead the heroes of today to see that dream fulfilled was gone. And the dream he's talking about is the end of crime and inequality. Diana tells Batman that he must have faith. He gets a little kiss on the cheek, and that is how our 4-issue storyline wrapped up.
Very cool.
So a little backstory there on Dark Angel. At this time, since Donna Troy's had such a complicated history, and actually, while I'm telling this, if you don't mind jumping back to the previous issue, page 13, I want to pull that up later on at the end of the show. So,
all right,
I'll take this down for now, but we'll jump back to that if you don't mind leaving that up on your screen. So, at this point in Donna Troy's origin, Dark Angel was this character. See, Donna Troy, essentially, her origin at this time was she was a mirror image of Wonder Woman that a Themysciran priestess essentially gave life to, so Diana would have a playmate since she was the only child on the island. And she was a secret that only Diana and this priestess knew about. And one day, Donna disappeared. And they just thought, well, the magic wore off and she was gone. Well, what had really happened was this character, Dark Angel, had mistaken Donna to be Diana. And to get revenge on Hippolyta, she thought she was taking Diana. And she took this character who she thought was Diana, but really was Donna Troy, and put her through all of these different lives, essentially. And Donna would have no memory of it until right at that moment before she dies, when Dark Angel plucks her again and just does all these horrible, terrifying things to her, puts her through all these just horrible scenarios that a person would have. So
wow,
that's the backstory why Dark Angel would be such a fearful character for Donna. The art chemist has stopped in to say hello, trick or treat. Thanks for stopping by. So your thoughts overall on this storyline?
I liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I think Phil Menace can write very well, and he can write other characters besides Wonder Woman. You know, as we pointed out last week, he's a great Batman writer.
Yeah. No, he was good. The gods, if you're not familiar with the gods, again, that can still be a little challenging, especially then when they're inhabiting other people's bodies, right?
Yeah,
like
it is.
It's a little bit, but aside
and
from
none
that,
of them have easy names like Karen or Monica or something like that. You know, they're
no. But
one of my friends says that this story is a little too busy. What do you think about that? Too many characters, too much dialogue. See, to me, coming off of War of the Gods, which was way too busy.
That was too busy.
This didn't. No. I mean, there are a lot of characters.
There are, but okay. If you're familiar with one of the two main titles or main characters, then you're probably okay. Because like I was familiar with the Batman universe, and so I knew all of those characters a lot better. I didn't know the Wonder Woman quite as much, but that was okay because at least the others were familiar, I guess. So I guess if you didn't know both, maybe it would be busy. Yeah.
But overall, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a good kickoff to Phil Jimenez's run. I haven't read this story in a few years, so it was still fresh for me coming back to it. And as you said too, the artwork is top shelf.
Great. Yeah, definitely.
So overall, what would you give it out of a 5?
I'd give it probably a 4.
I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go 4.5, and the reason that I'm going to do that is something else that I do want to mention before we wrap this up. Phil Jimenez is really good at. See, some people would say that's just a cop-out that Wonder Woman's able to talk to Batman or talk to the gods and talk them out of that without using the Force. But the deal is, she will use the Force if she has to. But it's not her first resort. And I like that he goes back to me, that's the core of the character, is that you can do this without fighting.
I see. Yeah.
And I like that we hadn't seen that in a little while at the time that Jimenez came on the run. So to bring that back was something that I enjoyed. And that's why I'm going to go 4.5 on it.
Now, how long did he did he do Wonder Woman for?
About 4 or 5 years, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I think, no, maybe it wasn't that long. It was at least 2 years. Maybe it was 2 to 3. That sounds a little bit more accurate. So, but it was good. So,
all right.
And I don't know if you saw us talk about or read the very beginning of the story where Diana comes in and she realizes that her mother has been out as Wonder Woman again, and that kind of, there's a little bit of discord with that. She's not too happy about that. She's like, "Isn't your place here as queen?" That is something that gets addressed kind of in the next storyline.
Oh, okay.
That they deal with, and he was already setting up, like a good writer does, setting up future plot lines even in this story. So
yeah. Well, that's good. That means he had at least some kind of a plan going forward.
He certainly did. So, you ready for some Wonder Woman trivia?
Let's do it.
All right. Question 1. I got 10 questions for you.
10. All right.
Yeah.
This is gonna be bad.
This first one, I'll give you a multiple choice. At least you got a 25% chance of getting this right. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk about the animated Wonder Woman, since it's, we've been featuring Wonder Woman here because of her 80th anniversary, and Wonder Woman's been in animation. Wonder Woman made her animated debut on what cartoon? And I'll give you multiple choice. Popeye, the Laugh Olympics, Scooby-Doo, or the Brady Kids? I know none of them sound like they would be the place for her to make her debut at.
Are they all real shows even?
Yeah, all 4 of those are real shows.
Scooby-Doo sounds too late to me.
Okay. So it'd be Popeye, Laugh Olympics, Scooby-Doo, or the Brady Kids.
I'm going to go with the Brady Kids.
That's correct.
There you go. See, I knew what I was talking about.
It was an episode called It's All Greek to Me. And that is the very first animated appearance of Wonder Woman.
All right.
Interestingly enough,
I would have gone with Scooby-Doo too, except again, I was thinking, when did Scooby-Doo come out? That feels like it was too late. Like, because wasn't Super Friends around the same time?
Super Friends was like 73 was the first one, and Brady Kids was a couple years before that. As a matter of fact, it was the success of Brady Kids, of her appearance in that, they're like, yeah, we have to definitely use her in something else. So
okay.
And funny enough, Wonder Girl, Donna Troy, actually had been animated before Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yeah, she had. So weirdly enough. Wonder Woman is as beautiful as what god, or goddess, I should say?
I don't know my gods. I don't know.
Aphrodite.
Oh, I should have known that.
Okay. Before she had her own comic book title, Wonder Woman was the main headlining character of what comic book?
Sensation.
Yes. And how do you know that?
Because I got you one.
Because you got me one. So
I didn't know before that.
Yep.
Well, I knew because of your video.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
Yeah.
because I talked about it in my video.
Yeah.
So yep, good guess on sensation. Next question. Let's talk about Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor is an original founder and the head of what organization in DC Comics lore?
Oh.
And this is more modern. This is something that's come about in the last decade.
What is the name of that one? I don't know.
Stephen M. knew it. It's Argus.
Argus. Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of those. I'm like, there's Star Labs. And I was even thinking, like, what was that? Because that was in the Superman storyline, the death of Superman, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had
here's a multiple choice for you. You did well last time with multiple choice. So which one of these is not a Wonder Woman villain? And I'll let you know that the one that is not a Wonder Woman villain is just a villain that I made up. So it's not somebody else's
great.
villain, okay? It's just one that I made up.
Okay.
Who is not a Wonder Woman villain? Your choices are the Balloon Bandit, Paper Man, the Crimson Centipede, or the Inside Out Man.
I'm going with the Crimson Centipede.
No, he was a real Wonder Woman villain.
Really?
Yes. Correct answer is the Balloon Bandit.
Oh, I would have gone with Paper Man after that.
No, Inside Out Man was a real Wonder Woman villain. So, I mean, you got to keep in mind, this woman had an enemy called Egg Foo that was a giant egg with a big twirly mustache.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's flip to another part of Wonder Woman's history. How many seasons did the Wonder Woman TV show last? This is the Linda Carter TV show.
Yeah. I'm going to say 2.
No.
4?
No.
I don't know.
3.
3. Of course.
There was the 4th season essentially was set up at the end of the 3rd season, and it would have been a little bit of a radical departure, and Steve Trevor would have been written out of the show. And it was really all set up for a 4th season because they thought they were coming back for a 4th season. And then whatever happened with CBS, and CBS pulled the plug during hiatus, and it was gone.
Wow.
And that used to air, just so you know, the show season 1 was on ABC, and it was too expensive for them to continue producing it because they were doing it set in the 1940s. So CBS picked it up, said, we'll pick it up if you move it to modern times. So they did. And that show was on Friday nights. It was Wonder Woman. It was The Incredible Hulk first, and then Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was, for a superhero comic book fan like me, Friday nights were just it, sit in front of that TV. So
yeah.
Couple more questions left for you. Let's talk about Wonder Woman's arch enemy, Cheetah. So there have been several cheetahs throughout the Wonder Woman 80 years of existence. Okay. The second cheetah was a character named Debbie Domain. What relation is Debbie Domain to the original cheetah, Priscilla Rich? Those two characters are related somehow.
They work together?
No. Debbie is Priscilla's niece. So there was a really good issue, 274 from Volume 1, where Debbie goes to visit Priscilla Rich, and her aunt is very sick. And there was this organization, Cobra, not the G.I. Joe one, but Cobra, this organization was trying to recruit Cheetah. And Priscilla Rich is, I'm still going to need that, by the way.
I'll share it again.
Okay. And Priscilla Rich is like, I'm too old. I'm not that person anymore. And so they recruited her niece to become Cheetah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is the name of the second Wonder Woman animated movie?
This I don't know.
Bloodlines.
That's only the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did know that.
I'm talking solo movie,
Okay.
Bloodlines. Yeah, Stephen knew. We're getting to the home stretch here with trivia.
Okay. So, I've got
we got 2 questions left. Another multiple choice. Which of these items did Wonder Woman not have from her inception? So one of these 4 things that I'm going to mention wasn't with her when she first was introduced.
Okay.
Is it the invisible jet, the bracelets, the tiara, or the magic lasso?
Oh.
I know 4 things that are heavily associated with her. but
one
of
them,
those she didn't have for maybe a year.
I want to say the Jet.
No, the Jet was there. What's up, Tim?
Is it the Lasso?
It's the Lasso.
I was going to say that too, but I was like, eh.
The Lasso first appeared in Sensation Comics #6, which, even though that book is so expensive, it's also the first appearance of.
What year did she come out?
She came out in 41 because this is her 80th anniversary. So Sensation Comics would have been 42.
41?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Magic Lasso first appeared in Sensation Comics #6, and I just think with my username, someday I've got to get a copy of that book, just to say that I have that.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. First appearance of her Kangaroo Jumpa is in that issue too. One last question, and this is just kind of a free-for-all because I didn't write it down. This is just, I had a few different ones that I could go with depending on what direction. And we're going to do something from the Bronze Age since that's my wheelhouse. The pre-crisis Bronze Age Wonder Woman. What would happen to her if her bracelets were removed?
She would turn to clay.
Nope, that's a good guess though. She would go berserk with rage.
Why?
Because something about the submission to man is represented in the bracelets, and then them being broken or removed causes rage, and that's happened in a few different issues. And that's been addressed post-crisis, as in one issue someone said to her, or she said something about all the different myths that there are about her that aren't true. And she says something like, someone says that if my bracelets are removed, I'll go berserk, and that's not true. And so that was a nice little nod to that. So
which do you prefer?
My heart and soul is always going to be with, and I think most people, the version of the character that you first got to know is the one that you love the best.
Yeah.
So Bronze Age Wonder Woman has always been and always will be my favorite. But I think the key to being any type of successful collector, if you like a character, you got to let your characters grow.
Oh yeah.
Don't expect them to be just the way that you like them. You have to let them grow.
Right.
So
I see Tim's here,
Yes.
So kind of like the way Hal Jordan has just grown more and more powerful, far eclipsing, say, Kyle Rayner over the years.
Speaking of Hal Jordan, with that Bronze Age pre-crisis Wonder Woman, there was talk of those two having a romance.
Oh yeah?
That was.
What about Carol Ferris?
I don't know. I don't exactly remember why it got decided against, but it has been confirmed by the DC powers, and it's in a letter column, I think in a Justice League comic book, that they said, yeah, Wonder Woman and Green Lantern were going to have a romantic relationship. That was in the works. So
that would have been cool, because then they could have had Star Sapphire and Wonder Woman like constantly at odds.
Yeah, had that love triangle going.
Right?
Yeah.
That could have been good.
Yep. So for book show, I'm going to start out first, if that's okay, and I'm going to bring back up this and okay, scroll up just a little bit for me. Just a little bit more. Stop. Take a look at that, what you're looking at right there. Because for my book show, right there, you can stop. For my book show, let's see. Here is the original piece of artwork for that panel. It's a patch panel that was done by Phil Jimenez for this issue. So wow. I thought that would be fun to show. And since I'm showing some Phil Jimenez,
where'd you get something like that?
What's that?
Where'd you get something like that?
I bought that from his art dealer a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
And since I'm showing some Jimenez stuff, this is from a different issue, Wonder Woman 177, but here's some more Jimenez original art.
Wow.
Let me zoom
That
in a
is
little
awesome.
closer so you can see some of the detail on that. Sometimes just seeing the pencil and ink, it's even more beautiful than you see on the page. And I got another page I want to show too. This is a page with Silver Swan and Wonder Girl and Hippolyta.
Very cool.
Yep, got this signed by Phil as well.
Did you get these all at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, got everything at the same time. And that's I don't have a lot of Wonder Woman original art, but I'm happy for what I do have. And we can take that down now. But I just wanted to share that because I thought that was probably the only time on Retro Review where I would actually have a piece of original artwork from something that we reviewed.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a tiny panel in that case.
No,
and
that's
if you guys want to see my full showing of Wonder Woman original art, I did an original art hour with Comic Books NYC at the very earlier this year, like in spring, maybe. Look for that on his channel because you'll see all my Wonder Woman original artwork that I have. So what do you have for a book show?
I can't remember if I showed this before, but I figured this would be the right night to do this.
Oh yeah,
I've got the Wonder Woman Invisible Jet from Funko.
I love that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
it's never been opened. So it's funny you mentioned the jet because I knew I had this sitting here tonight.
Yeah, very nice.
So the jet was there from the beginning. Wow.
Yeah. Well, she had to have some way to get Steve back to America.
Oh, okay.
So what's going on the Comic Food 2814 channel?
Not too much. I need to get to my LCS as we've learned. But and then I'll put out my next comic finds. I did pick up one really nice book at another LCS the other day. But other than that, I just had another successful auction this past Friday, and I'm planning one more this coming Friday for my indie books.
Very nice. So coming up on my channel, I've just wrapped up a series of special videos for Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary. Yesterday, I usually don't release content on a Saturday, but I did yesterday. I did Wonder Woman, the 80th anniversary special. That was the one shot that just came out earlier this month. I showed the complete covers, including all of the retailer exclusives. So there's a total of 15 covers for that issue. And I did a video showing those and sharing those. Earlier in the week, I did the complete Wonder Woman 80th anniversary future state covers. So I shared that earlier. Now on my channel, I'll be going back to the regular type of content and programming that you're expecting when you come to my channel, so comic book hauls and stuff. On Tuesday afternoon will be my next video, and I have a big AOK from Mark Spector Comics. And there's some DC and Marvel in there, a lot of Bronze Age, which is my wheelhouse. And I will say this, and Fu, you can attest to what this might be. Never before, except for this video, have I looked like a bigger idiot than I do in this video that's coming out on Tuesday. And I've looked like a big idiot before. You've seen me be a big idiot before.
More than once.
Yes. And on Tuesday, I think I really take the cake.
Wow. Okay.
So.
All right.
So that's one of many things that are coming. And I think I actually will be going live this upcoming week at some point at some time. I have an AOK coming in from Canada. And my Foofer is in that. And I'm going to unbox that among other things in a live AOK.
I hope it arrives safely.
So do I. That's why I say hopefully this week. So probably Wednesday. It's going to be in the evening, Wednesday night at the earliest, maybe Thursday, probably one of those 2 days. So just stand by, look for Instagram. The Magic Lasso, I'll announce when I'm going to go on, or just have that bell turned on so you'll know when new content is dropping or a live video. Links to Comic Food 2814 and all of the Fanboys channels in the description for this video. Anything else you have to say as we wrap up?
Tim wants clips of your
Tim wants clips of everything that I have.
He's gonna get me in trouble.
Yep. Big time trouble.
No, that's it for me. This was fun though. I enjoyed this.
I had a good time. Thanks for joining me. How about one last thing as we wrap up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it a two-part question. Regarding Halloween, will you buy a Ben Cooper 1960s Green Lantern costume to have in your collection someday? And the other part of the question is, what was your favorite Halloween costume you've ever dressed up as a child?
I don't remember what I dressed up as a child.
I have a memorable one. I went as Darth Vader one year, and someone said to me, "Who are you supposed to be?" And I said, "Darth Vader." And he says, "Dark Bear."
Actually, you know what? I do remember one now. And I would have to say it probably would be my favorite because I remember after long after Halloween, it was always in my drawer and I would, still try it on. And that would be Batman.
Batman, that's cool.
Yeah.
Was it the kind with the plastic face with the mask?
No, it was all homemade. Like
homemade.
Like felt-like material,
Nice. So how about the Ben Cooper Green Lantern costume from the 1960s? Are you going to get one for your collection?
Is that the ones with like those plastic masks? Oh,
it's ugly as can get out. It's so ugly that I almost think you need one.
I haven't looked into them yet, but now that you mentioned it,
now we've opened up that drawer.
Take a look. I wonder how much they are.
I don't know. They're pretty rare. I mean, this was a children's Halloween costume in the 60s. So to find one,
And of course, I like them still in the package. Yeah. That'd be even more difficult.
But there are rare. I mean, you never know what you can find. Someone's trash is another person's treasure. So
it's amazing what you can find on eBay. I mean, I found literally one-of-a-kind things and nobody's picking it up. I'm like, what is wrong?
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, that wraps up Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. If we're staying on schedule, we will be on Tony Fett's channel next week. So unless that changes, check out our social media to be informed. Otherwise, we'll see you then. Remember, next weekend's a time change too, so you will fall back an hour. So,
all right.
Yep. Take care.
And Big Harley episode next week too.
Big Harley episode. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see Harley on a Harley.
There you go.
Maybe that's what's lined up. I don't know. Hello and goodbye to I Collect a Lot. We do appreciate you stopping by, as we do everyone who's been here for the live chat and is watching on the rewind. Until our next Fanboys Live in the Retro Review, I'm Magic Glass.